So you want to talk about my brother, my older brother. Gee, he was what they call the Spitfire. Spitfire, he had that attitude that he was like a better than everybody, and he was the guy, he was the it guy, everybody loved him, and well, the more I think about it, the more I think that isn't exactly right either. It was more like he thought everybody else was the guy, and he loved that everybody else was the guy. He got really into that. I was just his little brother. Mom would say, go take your brother with you whenever he went anywhere. So, he was like strutting around the neighborhood. And it was like he was king of the neighborhood. Hated the guy. When we were young, I hated the guy. I'm not like him. I'm totally not like him. I mean, sometimes I forget things. I mean, I just don't remember things. And one day, I didn't even remember my name. I didn't even remember my name. It was really, really a strange day. But, he treated people differently than I would treat people. I mean, I was like short with people, and he was like really into them and helpful. And he treated people like they were, like they were valuable. I hated him. Like this one time, we at supper time, and we had a dog. I don't remember the dog's name, and I didn't really pay much attention to the dog. He was just hanging around all the time, and we fed him scraps from the table, and he tagged along with us when we went all over the place. And he was just a dog. He was just there. So we're having dinner, and we're all sitting around the table, and we're talking about all the things we did that day. And my brother walks in, and he's so excited, and he announces to everybody, just as I was taking a mouthful of beans, and he says, "I just gave away our dog." And I choked, and I spit out all the beans. I said, "What? You gave away our dog?" And while I'm challenging him, my mom is saying, "Well, that's nice, honey," to him, while she's stuffing a napkin in my mouth to keep me from to hush me up. Anyway, he goes on and tells us he was walking down the street, and he happened upon this family. And this family was down on their luck. They didn't have a job. Neither one of them parents were working. They were having a rough, hard to go. There were two kids, a boy and a girl, and they were heading up to that town north to get a job. He thought he had a job prospect. So just when I'm talking to this family, our dog walks up, and so the kids got so excited that I let them play with the dogs, and they were real happy. So what I said to them, I said, "Hey, would you like that dog?" And the kids were so excited and said, yeah, we'd like the dog. So I said, "Well, if I ask your parents and they say you can have them, I'll let you have them." So I went up to the parents, my brother says, and I asked them, and they said yes. So I gave away our dog. And that's why I hate him. I mean, we walked down the street together, and we're talking about this and that and this and that, and someone over here drops a bundle that they're carrying, and they're having trouble picking it up, but he just runs over there and he helps them up, and he carries their bundle to wherever they need to go, or we're walking, and somebody over here is having trouble getting into a door, so he runs over there and helps them get through the door, and this whole time, he'll come back to me, and he'll start talking about and asking me questions about, what do we think of my friends, or what do I think about why the sky is blue or the grass is green, and stupid me, I answer him. Oh, I hate that guy. He was always like that. And then one day, the best thing ever that happened to me. was he was gone. Gone. He left. He left. I was so happy. I was so happy, but that happiness didn't last long because he came back. And he pulled Mom aside, and they went to a room, and they were talking, and I hear Mom, she's all like, do you have enough clothes, and do you have enough food to eat, do you need me to go? And then, she closes the door, and then he left again. And he was gone a while. But he left when I had this job lined up there, and I needed him to help me, and he bailed on me, and he was gone. So it was a bad time. So we were having a bad time. So there was a while there when we were only eating the fruits and vegetables from Mom's garden, and it wasn't very much. I mean, it wasn't for a long time, but jobs were hard to come by, and along my brother comes back, and he brings his couple of friends with him, and I'm like, what? And Mom's like, let's prepare a meal for him and get ready for him, and I'm like, what? We don't have enough right now. And she goes, nope, we got to do this. So, I said, no, we're not going to do that, Mom. And I went to my brother and his friends, and I kicked them out. And my mom says, why are you doing this? I said, because, Mom, he left us for a job we had. And she escorted him out, and she turned in over her shoulder. She said, well, I didn't know that was a job. Years went by. Years. I hadn't seen him for years. And then one day, I was able to go to the Capitol during the holidays, and it was an opportunity for me to do some business and get some money and stuff for my family. I was looking forward to going. I was so excited. So I went to the Capitol during the holidays, and you know what? I did. I made a killing. I got all this money, and I was so excited and so happy that I had a good day, and I made all this money. I felt like I was king of the world, and so I decided I would take a walk. So I went outside of the city, and I was walking on the hills, and it was sunset. It was getting to be sunset. The sky was dimming, and then as I'm looking around, I was on a hill, and I was through the valley. I was looking down at another hill, and I see this group of people gathering. And I couldn't hear them, but I could see them. There's a group of people, and they're getting all riled up, and there's a lot of noise going on. And I say, oh wow, I wonder what's going on down there. So I keep watching as more people rush and more people rush. Then all of a sudden I see that they're organizing a parade. And I said, great, I came out here in time to see a parade. I had this great day, and I'm going to top it off by seeing this parade. So the parade starts, and they're coming down off their hill, and they get into the street that goes into the city, and they're down in the valley, and I can see them, and I begin to hear what they're saying and what they're singing. They're singing, blessed is the King, blessed is the King. And I see that they're laying these cloaks out in front of on the road, and then I noticed that there's this guy on a donkey, and they're laying this cloaks and their robes and everything out on the road before him, and palm branches, and some are waving palm branches, and they're saying, blessed is the King, blessed is the King. And about that time, I could see on the donkey, I recognized the guy who is on the donkey. It's my brother, Jesus, walking on that donkey. And I was like, what? So I hear this, blessed is the King, and then these two guys walk up behind me, and I hear them talking to each other, and one says, it's him. Oh boy, there's going to be big trouble now. And the other one says to him, yeah, the authorities don't like it when people rock the boat. The other one says, yeah, we're going to have trouble. So now we can hear really well that the crowd is all riled up and they're singing, "Blessed is the King, blessed is the King." And one guy says to the other guy, he goes, "Yeah, the only way to stop this guy is to kill him." So I turned around to this guy, to these two guys. I turned around and I said, "Blessed is the King, blessed is the King, blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord." And I turned around and my brother Jesus was smiling at me. And when I smiled back, the crowd rushed him off into town. And I rushed off to see my family to tell them, "I just saw my brother Jesus. Long live the King. Blessed is the King."